Everybody's out there. Please holler, let me know. Come out here on Sunday. I'll be out here as many times as I get through. I will gladly talk. So we'll see how many people show up. It depends. If I get, certain amount of folks come out here and talk, I can go more than 20 minutes. If not, I will keep it to a minimum. Just got through watching this football. The Bills suck. I mean, Josh Allen is sad. Sean McDermott is not the coach to make that team click. Ken Dorsey's offensive play calling needs allowed to be desired. What's up, man? What's happening, Ted? I know you're gonna come through. I know you got some Q&A, so feel free to ask away. Very disappointed with what I saw today. Very disappointed. Mac Jones got over. Belichick got one. Just sad. Sad, sad, sad. Ticked off to the tickets. Bad, 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 bad. You know, it's a lost season already. Talked to my Bills buddies. He done with the season already. I understand. I get it. I get it. You know, I have to watching baseball, watch other games. He did. I mean, he did. And the one thing about it is they love to go against what we call, flashy, uh, finesse-oriented teams, and the Bills are just falling right into the trap. Same way they lost to the Jets, same way they lost this game. And look really flat against Jacksonville, look flat against the Giants, look flat again starting out today. That's why I understand why Stephon Diggs, when he went digging in them, I got it. I got it. Looked flat, looked embarrassing. Today I'm up for anything y'all want to talk about. It'd be music too. If y'all want to talk about music, y'all want to talk about, if you want to talk about Will and Jada, if you want whatever, I got a wide range. His problem is that it telegraphs what he's doing. His cadence is off. His rhythm is off. He doesn't simplify his game, and they're picking him apart. And then he gets caught like a deer in the headlights trying to throw a pick. He actually is better off when he used to try to high hurdle move, and I don't know why they don't want to utilize. James Cook is balling, just not smart play calling. And I blame that on the head coach and the coordinators. It's a lack of a head coach that knows how to really command authority. Just playing well enough to get by, and that's why they're 4-3 right now. They're done. They're done. It's bad already. Oh, yeah. I was just talking about baseball. I was impressed. The Phillies looked good last night. They should win that series. Houston Astros are the strangest baseball team I have ever seen. And if we're going to get another World Series, it's crazy. Yeah, could be a Super Bowl preview. Could be. Imagine that. Two Alabama cats going against each other. And for the record, they left Mac Jones behind. I'm not the biggest Bryce Harper fan because of the ego, but he come through in the postseason. I mean, if he can win a ring, and I was watching what's the show? They're talking about Bryce Harper and Mike Trout and all that. Like, he wins a ring, yeah, could be something. But Houston is. I like Dusty Baker. Dusty's my favorite manager, and the Astros are a strange team. I mean, they win on the road. They are strange. That's one team you can't count out. They're the best team I've seen in baseball the last 10 years, and they've been all in World Series. So we'll see. That will be interesting. But Harper is consistent. I mean, because the Nationals fell off, but that first year when they won their ring, but Soto went to the Padres, and so now he may have made a good choice for Philly. Here they are back to back, so we'll see. Okay, we will see. Yeah, we'll see. I saw Taylor Swift up at the game with Kansas City. I'm like, oh boy, that mess again. Oh boy, with Kelsey, but we'll see how that turns out. Kansas City playing the Chargers. Chargers are a disappointment. A lot of situations. What's going on? A lot of situations. Well, she's getting pushed by the agenda by the NFL. See, so much for Jay-Z having some sway, because that's not his lane. He's more in the R&B, hip hop world, black folk world. And Taylor Swift and Beyonce, that's like the competition. So, and she doesn't have that reach. They, like I said before, she did a cut with Kendrick and stuff, but she ain't got that kind of appeal. So, but she's doing what she can do. She's getting hype. I didn't realize she had 12 Grammys. I'm thinking something is wrong with that. She got almost as many Grammys as Michael Jackson. Something wrong with that. She got more Grammys than Prince. Something is wrong with that. She's got 4 times many Grammys as R. Kelly and Rick James and Marvin Gaye. It's crazy when you think about they got a lot of love for Taylor Swift. I tell you, I don't get it. I haven't heard it. And I was talking, my buddy was asking me last night. I said, out the white girl, I said, he asked me, I said, no. I said, she ain't no Karen Carpenter. Yeah, well, she, the country pop thing, and she pretty much she took over the Britney Spears run. She kind of like the Leanne Rimes, Faith Hill, Shania Twain country pop thing, which country music has changed quite considerably. Well, they let you dance between both genres. Kenny Rogers made it cool back in the day. Garth Brooks did it more on the album tip, and some others. But on the female side, the Dixie Chicks were huge, and then Shania made it cool, and Crystal Gayle. But you didn't have like the kind of situation where Swift come along, because Shania didn't put out albums like that. And Faith Hill, it was there. Dolly Parton, of course, I can always say Dolly was big, but this Taylor Swift thing, it's done in a way where she's got an equal juggernaut in both. So yeah, I know 14 years, and it's hard to believe she's been around that long. She really has, because that whole thing with Kanye and the stage and all that seemed just like yesterday. And she's been around, she's been around almost as long as Chris Brown. You forget about how fast time goes by, because you just look at some people, or Katy Perry, some of these acts, and you don't really think about it until it's like, wow. But, But my buddy cracked the joke last night. He said, she already got a football song and she breaks up with Travis Kelce. I said, yeah, she's got at least an album or two worth of material with that. She will be in the lab, believe that. So, but anyway, just had to throw that in there. Saw her in the stands, so that's what's up with that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that game later, maybe. I don't know. As ticked as I am right now with the Bills, but I might take that. I'll peek that out later. I'll peep it out. I did do my answer back video about Kevin Durant blaming Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless about the NBA. I said, it ain't their fault. They just heads on sticks. I said, they doing what... Oh, yeah, no doubt. And eventually, the thing about Swift is that there's something with her where cats don't stay. She, my homeboy was telling me that, he said, she for the streets. We was basically, I said, she is. I said, because always got a song, an album. I mean, she done messed with half the boy groups, and now she's going to the NFL. Yeah, if they break up, that is going to be on her. And I got a feeling that, she, you got to kind of wonder, just saying, a woman at a certain age that gets around like that, you got to kind of wonder what her game is, what her agenda is, because, yeah. Thank you. So I did watch the video that Too Raw did, but I did my own video. And in my video, I basically said that if he's going to blame anybody, blame the soft watered down NBA. I mean, Stern and Silver, from Magic to Bird. Let me tell you something. I love them guys are top 5 ever. They, marketing. But the marketing of the game pushed the one man. You can't blame hits on sticks. So because they talk about LeBron James or that they pushed it. This is what the NBA has wanted to do. He just mad like Charles Barkley called him a bus rider because he isn't giving the love as LeBron and he's not getting the love as Steph Curry. He's somewhere in between. He great. His offensive game is great. I got Kevin Durant as one of the greatest offensive forces ever and all that. But he cried too much. And if he don't get it done with Phoenix, he's not looking good. Because it didn't work in Brooklyn. And I'm looking at Booker and them and I'm like, this better work. Yeah, precisely. He been hurt. He been injured. Matter of fact, most people thought he was the only guy who could challenge Kareem's record or challenge LeBron's record now because the way he scores. But he's gotten old and been hurt. He don't play hardly. He's been fragile. And the truth is, in Golden State, if he still was in Golden State, he'd probably have a ring on both fingers now because that was the best spot for him. Come to find out, playing with Steph and Clay, and I got a feeling if he had stayed there, Jordan Poole would be riding on the six on the back, and they'd have been scary. I just got a feeling because he looked like it, just like varsity there. That was it. Yeah, and Bradley Beal, I mean, it's kind of like CJ McCollum. They're sidekick dudes that they're good, but I don't think they the sidekick. They're more like the sidekick to the sidekick, and more like to the sidekick, meaning they're kind of like what's his bud in Philly? That's the fourth and most important player right now. You know what I'm talking about. He came from the Clippers. They're like the third, fourth. Bradley Beal looks good in Washington, and I'm sure Jordan Poole gonna look good in DC too, because he gonna have green light. But when they play with a team that's got two other legit dudes, they're more like third, fourth wheel. I'm not really sure that how that's gonna play out. And Phoenix is gonna have to make us. They're the only team that should be making a run. Brandon Ingram, though. As long as they don't lose Ingram. If Ingram stays motivated, Zion got to stay consistent, CJ. But if Brandon Ingram comes, that's a scary team. They should be. I like the Pelicans and I like OKC. They should be on the come up. Minnesota should be in it too. Them three teams have the situation to be a problem, along with Sacramento. That's four legit young up teams that should be a problem. They should be. Do I think any of them four teams could beat Denver? No. But I think they should definitely be the next step if Memphis falls off. And, give or take what happens with the Clippers and unfortunately with the Lakers and stuff. And definitely got to worry about Golden State. Oh yeah, Marcus Smart. That Smart's gonna be a good fit with D. And D Rose plays his role. I don't think you get much. D Rose will play a role, but Smart's a good pickup. That's a smart move. Of course, they had to go Brooks. Brooks over there already cutting up with Houston. I see him cutting up all the time already in that preseason. If you're gonna pull Dennis Rodman antics, and I know where it comes from, you're gonna be that kind of player. You gotta play with top tier caliber players who also have a high IQ and who can cover your behind. And I don't know that Memphis has it. I like Ja a lot, but I don't know if Ja and them can cover. They couldn't cover what Brooks's antics are. So guys like that always have a place in the league. But remember, once the gig is up and the jig is up, there ain't much to you because, it's going to be tough to come back from that. So that's why he's in Spain right now playing for Houston. Then no one is going to touch him that's for a legit title contending team. That's why the reason why he is. I hope he understands that. I hope he gets it. Because that league, they get rid of cats like that. So. But NBA starts in a couple of days. I don't really get into it till like after All-Star break. I'm not. Because a lot of it's a lot of acting. Oh yeah, tap dancing Marlon Wayans. Yeah, I did a video about that turkey. That ninja got his wake-up call. Well, he been clowning and shuffling for so long that, Let me tell you something. You be out here in these streets, they'll give you no time to let you know what they think about you. I don't care how much your bag is. I don't care what your last name is. They know, what I don't like, I'm not going to ever come on with black folk who are doing well for themselves or how they're living, because you got to do what you got to do within reams. However, don't you ever dare come out and diss black folk and then turn around and get in a situation and you're saying the same thing that's been done and yet you downplay it. Because the audacity of that jive turkey to come out after what happened in Alabama to say that and then compare it, and then the experience is experience. Racism is racism, but there's different ways to go down. But what happened in Alabama, nobody's saying that's black that's aware would ever try to downplay when white folks was coming like a mob. Come on now. Oh yeah, he stays bucking. I did a video about that. I didn't talk about the witchy poo, but I did talk about this. Yeah, I had done a video a few years ago, and I thought at the time LeVar, um, um, was he's subtle with what he do, but he did it with that chick on Fox Sports, kind of subtle, and I thought he was trying to, you know, I do think he has some Don King tendencies, and he definitely has hyped his sons up. But I ain't got no mad with him. I was telling my homeboy last night, look, he got his sons to the NBA, and his mouthpiece got him there. So, hey, I give him that. But over time, Molly has become annoying. And I wonder if she's got a Jennifer Lopez situation where she's going to pimp brothers to get the bag. But then when she gets crossed over, gets where she's supposed to get, then she'll go white. Because I just kind of wonder how long she's going to play all perky, lovey with Stephen A. at the Jalen thing. I just don't know. But yeah, he roasted her behind, and he right. She has been pathetic as time has gone on. She got busted with the cell phone. I was watching that episode the other day, Yeah, I know he did, and I know he did. He didn't really talk about much with that, and I just don't know if she's, she's for the streets or how she's rolling, but, and I don't trust a chick like her. I see bag written all over her. I think one of them cats on the ESPN plantation has got her right where she won't, because she really doesn't really indulge in conversation. She just sits there to just kind of be annoying and try to rise Stephen A., but she doesn't really, so. But they got some kind of chemistry, and it ain't just brotherly sister. I'm just saying. I watch. They definitely, she'll come at that with Shannon Sharp, but I'm going to tell you something. They messed that up. Somebody's butt will go. They had to do everything to get a Shannon Sharp because their ratings took a hit. So we shall see. I like Jalen too on TV. As a Michigan Wolverine fan, I go back with Jalen. So. Oh, yeah, they flirt. I mean, that's part of the allure. You're not wearing makeup and your hair all done up and your eyelashes and your lips all glossed if you ain't kind of, there is a obvious, you can be professional as a female and journalist and know what you're doing. Like I think Doris Burke, as an attractive woman, she knows her basketball too. You see, you can have it both ways. You ain't gotta look all scary and creepy. It's just that when sometimes I remember when was it Tony Kornheiser tried to come on, he tried to make a remark at Hannah Storm and he got suspended. Remember he tried to say the dress she was wearing or something. Yeah, you can have it both, but it's how you're cool with it. And ain't flirt, but it's how it's done. Oh yeah, Malika Andrews, yeah. They do it. I mean, it is TV, it's entertainment, Um, cats are gonna check you out, They're gonna check you out. That goes without saying, But it's how you conduct yourself if you're still on top of what you're saying, And as long as you ain't talking stinking, don't look stink. What's up, Low-Key? How you doing? What's up? Appreciate the shout out. Welcome aboard. Feel free to ask away if you got any questions, want to talk about something. Let's just chop it up. What's up? Yeah, they the cheerleaders. I mean, if you go back to the 80s like I do with the Laker girls, that's what I remember Paula do. That's how she got her role from being associated with Jackie Jackson and then with the Lakers and Magic and that whole nine. So, they ain't, it's like that in all pro sports. It's just that the cheerleaders between the NBA and the NFL is more known. But groupies and that whole thing, but they're women reporters in the locker room, so on and so forth, So, you know about Rachel Nichols, so I ain't got to tell you about that. You already know. Well, I'm a Bills fan. We don't have the right head coach. We don't have the right quarterback coordinator. The plays are too predictable. I understand why Stephon Diggs got very upset, exploded. It's a waste of talent. Josh Allen's a waste of a great talent because you don't get quarterbacks like that every day. You got to do more. Like James Cook at the running game. I know we've had some injuries on defense, but we're not playing cohesive football. Just lackluster. 4-3, and should be more losses. We lost today to the Patriots, lost to the Jets. You can't lose like that. Not to be a contender team. You're a pretender. As for the Ravens, man, apps. Woo. Because, everybody, including myself, thought the Lions might be about something, thought Dan Campbell might be something. Tore that butt up. Lamar was doing that Houdini. Oh, man. See, if y'all play like that, Baltimore can go. The Ravens, I hold Lamar in regard. And I tell it like this. Lamar is one of the few guys that could really battle Patrick Mahomes. I know they won't talk about Joe Burrow, but he's one of the few. The next Bills head coach? Oh, man. Who would that be? Deep down, I wish it was Deion Sanders or somebody that was electrifying to understand ego. I think Josh Allen needs like that kind of. You need to Phil Jackson. I know. If Belichick was younger, you need a coach who understands ego, who can coach superstars. That's what it comes down to. That's what makes Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, and Popovich. You got to understand how to coach ego. Everybody can't coach ego. And when you get guys who are great, see, everybody think it's easy. It ain't. Yeah, Harbaugh's play calling has cost y'all for real. Big game last week. That pass that they threw in Pittsburgh, that inside out to ODB, I said, throw him on the wing. You don't hit ODB in the chest and got picked. And that's the frustrating thing about the Ravens. They have about 6, 7. You remember last year? Bills, when they came back against you, the Miami game. Yeah, you win 3 or 4 of them games last year. You are going 2, 3 rounds deep. That would be effective, but I would tell you one that would be even more scary. Imagine Lamar Jackson in Frisco with Kyle Shanahan. Imagine that. Imagine that. Because that one. Yep. Hold on just a second. Be right back. I got the doorbell. Hold on just a second. They definitely blew. No. I just check that thing. Oh, yeah. Important games when they lost those 2 games. Those are important games for Baltimore. That's scary with Dolphins. Let me know what you mean when you say that's scary Dolphins. But yeah, Baltimore wins those games last year. I have a good feeling that they go deep. I just feel that Lamar has been shortchanged. And with the right coach, him and Andy Reid would have been interesting, but yeah, Lamar playing, he ain't never had no Tyreek Hill. Oh God. And Waddle. Oh God. You know. I tell you again, Belichick and them white boys in New England was so racist. I'd have made him. The Jets would have made a move for him. Now he ain't going nowhere. But if I was the Jets, I sure would have put my bag up to get him. Instead of messing with old Aaron Rodgers, I would have put the money on Lamar. I would. I just think that Lamar, with a better head coach, just they don't finish up enough for him. The guy is, yep. And Harbaugh, Fluco, that's why I call Joe Flacco. I call him Fluco because he threw them haymakers. And my buddy and I used to crack up about Joe Flacco. September, October, he was great. And then what was it? I'd say late December to January, great. But that November thing, he'd be erratic. So yeah, they don't give him enough options. Lamar is almost like a stuff that we run in the streets and make that stuff work. Not everybody can do what he can do, you know. And I think Lamar gets shortchanged. I really do. But he, yeah, with the right coach, definitely would be scary. Now I think he loves B more, but I think he's tired of Harbaugh. Yeah. So I watched them lose a lot of them chippy games, like they lost to Pittsburgh last week. Now that's because Mike Tomlin coached them up, but you know, I just saying. Just saying. Yeah, he was past the pull day, but again, because he won that Super Bowl against the 49ers and he hit the big pass against Denver, you know, that's why. Like Michael Jordan was talking about, sports, you can have all the body and they'll give you 10 years in music they used to didn't. You think them was disappointing? I don't. I think you got the wrong quarterback, wrong head coach, and cats just don't want to play there. They're not motivated, you know. When Von Miller basically won that Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, and what they had was enough to get over. And when guys got older or they quit or moved on, they couldn't cover it. They never did get a quarterback after Peyton Manning because they had uh, what's that one cat, Oswald, whatever one went to Cleveland. They paid him not to come. I cracked up. I clowned. I was like, wow. He wasn't wanted. What happened was, I'm gonna tell you, Sierra pulled the Jada. She basically said, we need to move. And he did. And it was too white for them. They wanted to go somewhere more. I don't know if Denver's more urban, but but they wanted to get him up out of there. He really wasn't the same when they traded the center Max Unger and went for Johnny Graham, and they lost a lot, and then that Super Bowl messed him up. So, yeah, I saw that with Julio Jones. Uh, you get the right out of him. You're not gonna get the Julio that you got in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, but if you get him on some plays, I think the offense needs to step up a bit. I think that could be a good move for them because I've noticed they've been kind of stagnant too. Yeah, I mean, the future, that whole thing, and then her career, and I always say I like maybe one or two of her songs, but aside from doing the dance that she do, they tried her to do an anthem or some mess some years ago. I was cringing, I was cracking up. Yeah, well, Russell is kind of seen as a cornball, good brother, and they wanted to, but his problem was that Super Bowl. Long story short, trying to shoot by the goal line, Pete Christmas Carroll hurt him. He never was the same. Can I just say it? He did have a game against Minnesota where he won the game in the cold, and he came up big, but once Marshawn was gone, um, even though they got Metcalf, they got some talent. They've been a working. They've been in the how would I say about Seattle? They've been in the rebuilding phase, even though right now sometimes Geno Smith got people fooled that he's, is the second coming or something. They've been rebuilding for a long time, so But he really had our wars welcome. I mean, he was done there 3 or 4 years ago, and the team moved on. It was different. It was different. It was different. I'm just saying, I observed that. But Denver doesn't buy into Sean Payton, and then it's just a certain style. Like somebody said, he should have gone out to the Chargers. With him and Hubert would have been interesting. Oh yeah, because he's a rah-rah dude. You know, you ever been around someone that's real preppy and get you all fired up? You know, like have you ever been to like one of them Amway meetings or any of them company potlucks or something like that? We're gonna do this. We're gonna get it. You know, like when you were a kid and you played a high ball or a high box, or you was in a pet one league, pop one league. You played, and the guy know how to just rah you, and then he talks to you. But there are cats who look at that and think it's cute for a certain level, but when we talking about grown folks and grown dollars, uh, well, it works until you want to get paid, until you start to see your worth. And then when those cats start to saw their worth, things change. Well, Gino's arm strength is his strength. That's getting the ball out, and he's able to be a scrambler and move. And he's also not going to be a problem because he'll fit in good with Pete Carroll because, let's be realistic, nobody else wanted to touch Geno Smith. I tell you, I had a homeboy laughing. You ever seen the movie Let's Do It Again? Where Sidney Poitier put Jimmy Walker under hypnosis, Bootney Farnsworth? That Geno Smith is Bootney Farnsworth. I'm not buying this certain, greatness of him because I saw too much of him with the Jets and Giants when it just like, you really sure you belong as a starting quarterback? I mean, I'm just saying. But it working because no one had expectations. That's one thing Pete Carroll can do. He can hype you up. But is the team good? Is the team a contender? No. But for spurts, and when you start to look at how watered down the league is, you might catch Frisco on an off day. You should be able to match the Rams. And well, I know, no, but it wasn't. There was they both used the Mongo slave part, but Sidney Poitier's character put him in hypnosis though. So I remember, but that Mongo stood Bill Cosby part, but yeah. But it was a part where I'm just saying Geno reminds me of that. They put on, I ain't buying, because usually the real Geno starts throwing picks. I'm with Caleb Williams. I did a video about it. I'm with him. Why not? Sure, why not? Why not? I mean, I talk about all the time. Michael Jordan should have had part ownership of the Bulls. Magic Johnson should have had part ownership of the Lakers. When you hear these owners talking about, oh, you're like a son and all this mess, guy brings in crazy revenue, jersey sales, impact, legacy, etc. Give him some real part, not no token like Magic got like 10, 15%. Give him 50%. Because you can tie Magic from 79 as a player, the 25-year, $20 million a year deal to getting LeBron to come. And just saying, get that man something real. So I ain't got no problem with Caleb Williams saying that, because if you're going to give Mahomes this 250, all this 300 million, Deshaun Watson going to get this 250, all these contracts, that means that the cast that is paying, signing the checks got $1 billion. So why not? There's got to be somebody, some kid that comes along that's going to be the cat that can demand that. I don't know if it's Caleb is the one, but I ain't got no problem with him saying give me part ownership. I have no problem at all. It's like when Michael Jackson was with Sony Epic Music. Why not him have part ownership? Do you know how much money did he generate from Off the Wall, Thrilling, Bad, and Dangerous? So-called would have been $1 billion deal, but the publishing, see, that's business. That's what you do. That would make someone say, okay, black folks are part of America. I'm just saying, if you were doing it that way, but it don't work like that. It don't work like that. But I'm just saying that would be good, because it goes beyond just that. You're a factor in a company. Like when I think about Saturday Night Live, Eddie Murphy should have had some ownership of Saturday Night Live, because while they broke his career, he made it. All due respect to Garrett Morris, but Eddie took the young black comedian to a whole nother trajectory. So he came on SNL after him, and it was doing, commercialization and all that. Come on now. But yeah, I think Caleb Williams didn't hit the bull on the behind. I'm with it. I am with it. You should, because that's what we lack behind. Everybody wants you to play in the field, but nobody wants to give you the ownership. Yeah, he had with Barry White was instrumental, and ironically Paul McCartney. But the thing is that you invest in something that will pay you when you get older. People act like you're gonna be 25 forever and on top of the world. That's not how it works. So when you get on the other side, and the bag ain't the same, the money you got to generate. And what he did was he invested. He learned where the songwriting was the key, publishing is the key. Quincy Jones had a lot of publishing too, but Paul McCartney, which they don't tell you, he got signed to deal with Sony back in 1980, and he had masters coming to him and publishing, but he didn't buy his own, the Beatles stuff. So Michael could pay $50 million for it. That was a heck of an investment. Think about it. $50 million in 85 is worth how much today? Think about it, and think about the Beatles catalog and how the impact for that is. So you gotta put investment to make a smart move. And that's all I'm saying. And that's how black athletes and entertainers get shortchanged, because Caleb Williams is asking, like Ray Charles said in the movie Race, all you can do is say yes or no. Ask for it and see what happens, especially if they deem you that worthy. Because I'm with Caleb Williams. If you get drafted by a scrub, Rudy Pooty team and they don't win nothing and you get hurt, what you stuck with? But if they're working with you and they're willing to work with you and then time goes on, just saying, So I'm with the ownership. I think that's what that's the thing that's hurting black entertainers and artists more than anything. Not having any ownership, because you don't have faces that represent you and negotiate in the big picture, And before someone comes at me about Rich Paul and all that, with LeBron and all that, that's small fish in a big sea with other sharks and other bass. That's a small. It's not the same. Clutch Sports is not running things like that. They got some action, but it's not like that. Yeah, I saw that video. I have to go looking. I'm gonna do some more on that, but if I might decide to do a video about that. Well, he can't really hate on his son, because when he was with the U, Michael Irvin was always loud, still is loud. Michael Irvin sounds like a black version of Randy Savage, because he'd be like, I'm going to tell you about those Cowboys, and I'm going to bend to it, and we're going to just destroy, and we're going to get that touchdown. And you know how he act? What does he expect? His son was raised on privilege. They probably had crazy women lined up and drugs, all kinds, because you know about Michael Irvin in the 90s. If you don't know, I'll remind you. There was a lot of stuff that went on in Dallas when he played. So yeah, he do be like a cross between Randy Savage and Cookie Monster and Ja Rule. I'm gonna just get it, and I'm gonna and sometimes like he's gonna be drug tested, because he be coming on TV be like, oh, my homeboy and I be cracking up off of him, because I'm like, except for when that white chick Foxy accused him, then he talked to his tone, that bass and that growl came down to, well, I don't know what to say. Just saying. And that's why he's back on TV. He's so happy, because they had whiteballed him from NFL Network, and they whiteballed him from ESPN. Hope he got his wake-up call, because it'd be real. But yeah, but he can't really. He was, I remember when he was with the U and with Dallas and all the prancing and all the wildness. So it's not like his son didn't see it. They got down to some stuff. That was just part of what it was. So just as long as if you're a parent, as long as you understand. Well, he gonna defend him. I hope he did, but I don't think so. Michael Irvin will still find a way to, shuffle. I don't think so. He wants too much of that limelight. He likes that shine too much. See, when you get on these type of networks and shows, they want to see how they can take the black out you and kind of seep it out you. So, but you know, but we know about Jerry Jones. You know, Dion will use selective words. Emmett Smith will too. They'll use selective words. Emmett did get ran off the network. Because he will talk. You can. I'm just gonna say. I'm not saying Urban ain't no brother like that, but he ain't the kind of brother. Let's just say that bag mean a little too much, and it has precedent. Let's just leave it like that. That's the best thing I can say. Because there's a reason why some cats don't keep a TV gig or don't want it because they know they're not going for the jive. And that's how I feel about Urban with that. He will shuffle for the bag. Mm-hmm. A lot of them do though. As they go about it in different ways though. But he can't really knock his son because again, he spent a lot of time. Pardon me. He spent a lot of time with his career. Yeah, you know what? Troy is a cool white boy. Let me tell you this. Troy is cold. Like if you were playing a game of cards. Now I wasn't the biggest Troy Aikman fan because I thought there were better quarterbacks, but I respected his heart. Like he came and he definitely learned and got better and did things with the script. Even when he had to deal with Barry Switzer making him roll out and do bootlegs, which he wasn't comfortable with, he did what he had to do. But Troy is one of them white boys. He will say stuff. He might not go all the way, but he go enough of a way. And they don't be feeling Jerry. Because Troy was a Jimmy Johnson dude. That's what that's about. That's like Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson against Ryan Starr and Jerry Krause. You get the star quarterback or the star player and they defend the coach, they ain't gonna never, the owner signs and pays their checks. That's the problem that Belichick's got in New England, that Brady and Kraft were homeboy. There was more respect. There was no love there. So you see it. You see it. As the true works the media, and he don't have to sit there and directly have to deal with him, Yeah. He did. He did. And that's why Jerry Jones don't put his name in the Ring of Honor. He should have, though, like 20 years ago. And how many great coaches has Jerry Jones had post him? And before you throw Barry Switzer was very good in Oklahoma, and they won a ring in Dallas, but then he got his butt ran out, and then he fell off. He got that ring, and he fell off. How many coaches have they had that seen Jimmy Johnson since, though? And if you say Mike McCarthy is not as good as Jimmy Johnson because he doesn't run his offense cadence properly, and it's just too much. Well, I'm a big Parcells fan, but Parcells was past the pull date. When he came to Dallas, he was just desperate to get back on the gig. That wasn't really Parcells. He was a few years removed from the Jets after the Patriots situation. He wasn't the same dude. And when they brought T.O. in, he was just going through the motions with blood, soul, and tears. He wasn't the same coach. He was actually past the pull date. Sad to say. Sometimes it's kind of like when Marty Schottenheimer came back to the NFL and he said, I'd never let Daniel Snyder be my coach, and he ended up going to Washington. He ended up getting fired. He was a bit ran out at the time. So that's kind of how I look at it. You know. But when I say the coaches, I'm going by their record. I'm going by their impact. And who has Dallas really had as a head coach that's had impact since Jimmy Johnson? Unless you say Switzer, but even that was part of the tie to what they had. So where is it going? Because I don't buy Mike McCarthy. I don't buy that meathead. I just don't. Well, you always kiss up to the quarterback. He didn't like the divaness of Owens because Owens had stood up McNabb and the whole thing with Andy Reid and Philly and T.O. with Frisco and the sidelines and antics. He didn't like that. And he never liked the dude that, because Parcells, all due respect, and my cousin was Lawrence Taylor, great linebacker for the Giants, but Lawrence stayed in line. They played within line. They did, but no one ever got too bigger than what the agenda was. But it's different with the receivers and certain other players. Romo had made himself into a very good quarterback, just not great. But and he's a great analyst. Now that he is great at. But T.O. when he came to Dallas was past the pull date too. When I say someone's past the pull date, that means that they ain't in their peak prime no more. Uh, they a bit past what they did, so they're not where they once were. You know, and they're removed from that particular time. You know, he was in T.O. in name only. He wasn't the same dude. You know, but Parcells was overmatched and overwhelmed in Dallas. Because at that stage, he didn't have the same dynamic, and they weren't that kind of team no more. You know, and you know, so yeah. Um, yeah, yeah. Chris Collinsworth was a good receiver. And see, when I say stuff like this, I'm trying to find something good to say before I tear into somebody. Collinsworth is one of those cats that the reason when the NBA doesn't have Bill Walton because they think he's gonna go some tangible way, like he's gonna get high and say something wild, talk about the Grateful Dead, go off and whatnot. But he will make his case connect. Collinsworth tries to appeal to a team or to something, but then he got set up real nicely with Al Michaels. That was gold. But left his own devices, he sounded like some crazy white dude will say something real off the wall, and it won't happen. It just ain't a good look. Yeah, Romo is so gangster that he came on the set with Jim Nance and they told Phil Sims, take your behind, put the blazer on, and go inside. That's how gangster Romo connected. And Aikman, yeah, is spot on. I like the way he articulates. I like the way he presents the game, enunciates. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I'll give you that. Both those cats got him beat. I'll give you that. Yeah. Definitely. 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 But I don't really get all into, it's a long time. But when you ask me about different announcers, I'll tell you my thoughts on them directly. I love Walton, but he was too much of a hippie and too open minded. And you see what happens with Jeff Van Gundy. They like you to be controlled and tamperable. They like to tamper with you. Can't have no open mind with a white boy talking because Walton kept it 100. Mm-hmm. I like how he gave his takes. You know, so Costas, I'm not a big fan of, but he's one of the greatest announcers ever. Can't even argue about his depth and his knowledge. I just don't like the cat on the personal side, but as far as his knowledge and wisdom, respect. Hubie Brown, I like Hubie. Because Hubie, like a Larry Brown, can talk X's and O's with the best of them and tell you the tangibles. And he gives either the team can be down and says, hey, just work yourself back. And he got a way of enunciating and putting it where you just, he brings you into the game. It's just really, I like how he does it. So much respect to Hubie Brown. Because I remember his coaching and then, not coaching, but I like the way he calls games. Definitely. 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 Good call on those guys. I like, I mentioned Romo, Aikman, Walton, Costas, and Brown. Four of them cats I like, and I respect all of them. That's what I was saying. That's a great point, Ted. True that. True that. Because he has a way of he can talk X's and O, but yeah, he can simplify it for you. You know. Who was it? Was it Jim Brown who dissed John Madden? Somebody did about. I thought he got romanticized a bit much to an extent. There were certain things. Him and Pat Summerall enjoyed their communicating, but I think he got a little bit romanticized. I kind of didn't. I don't know if I saw why he was getting so specialized love because I thought he was, I didn't quite sometimes you just kind of don't get how somebody just gets that kind of love. He did win a ring with the Raiders and during their black, what I want to say silver and black era big time. However, he didn't dominate though. Wasn't dominant, but he caught on them. I like Mark Jackson calling games. He articulates well. Reggie's good. He's good. I'm not blown away by Reggie, but he's good. Think he does good sideline work. He's good. You know. Um, he's good. You know. I like different cats for different things. I think there's different people that can call basketball in ways that it can connect with what they're saying. I think it depends on what the rotation is. You know. Weber sounds more articulate. I like how he, presents and says certain things in his comments. Grant Hill, yeah, very well spoken, has a very direct tone to what he says. So, yeah, they good. But you asking me when, when you mentioned great, there's a gap. There's a gap. But I will say those guys are good. But I think Huey Brown is great. I think He's was great. I think Walton was great. I think Jeff Van Gundy was great. I'm trying to think who else would I pick on. Hmm. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Hmm. It'll come to me. Oh yeah, I think a lot. I think a lot of Jeff Van Gundy. Yeah, he was great. They just he ticks off too many white folk though. He talked too straight, and they don't like it. But he's real talk. You know who else would have been great too? Would have been Rick Barry. That's a bad white boy. He tells it too. They won't touch him. Jeff Van Gundy, Rick Barry, them the cast. They will not. And Walton too. They don't want to mess with them. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, that's what I said about Rick Barry. They won't put him there. Doc is good. As long as Doc don't have to stand on those sidelines and he can stand and do commentary, I'm cool with that. Leave the coaching alone and don't wreck a sure thing, then yeah, he's good commentary. Mm-hmm. Pardon me. He's good. I just don't want to have to deal with Doc running no teams no more. Because I don't know how many more opportunities you're gonna get with the Clippers and Philly and onward. Mar was great. Very articulate, very knowledgeable, very direct, had a style of raw, original. Mar was, Mar was second to none. He had a very distinctive flair. So yeah, good call on Marv. Great call on Marv. I think Walt Clyde Frazier is great and he's articulate and witty. Slept on Walt Clyde Frazier. Let's see. So, oh. Yeah, Chick Hearn was bad. Mm-hmm. Chick was bad. I liked him with the Laker commentary, but he was, yeah, yeah. You can make the case he's one of the 10 most important Lakers ever. Mm-hmm. Definitely the voice of the Lakers. He was to the Lakers as Vin Scully was to the Dodgers. So yeah. So yeah. No, I gotta disagree. Uh he can talk in terms of what he thinks players should do and what have you, but he doesn't offer a balance of objectivity or a precision to communicate. Um, and it would be hard for him to do that because, like he'd have to take himself out of how he would evaluate the game. I just don't really feel that way. I think Bill Russell did a good job. Bill Russell's on the radar as a commentator. Dr. J tried it, mixed results. I think certain type of players are better at it than others. I don't think Jordan could really nail it. You know, I don't think he could. So I would, if I had seen him in a capacity where he articulated and talked about other players and stuff, that'd be one thing. But I just don't think that would necessarily, would flow. Um, I think, hmm, trying to think who would I pick on. I just don't really buy certain players trying to be commentators. It just doesn't seem like that would be the next level of life they would do. And I don't know. The Jordan one, I just don't know if I feel him doing it. I just don't. Something tells me that it would be a mixed reaction. And I just don't know. But, I feel that way about a lot of NBA players. I couldn't imagine LeBron James being a good commentator. Don't comment. He comment on his memory, but it's a certain type of way that certain players have to hit you when they talk about people. So I don't know. Um, so I don't know. That one is kind of, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll definitely see on that. Okay, if I don't get anybody else, I'll take a couple more minutes before I call it a day. If anybody else got anything to say, feel free. We're just waiting on the countdown. It's been good as always. Got some interesting responses. Got some good questions as usual. Appreciate the folks that showed up, asked the questions, and it's always respected. So we shall see. But yeah. I'm trying to think. Now, Pat Riley did try his hand at it. He was all right. Mm, hmm. Just think about who would be the one. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna get on for another minute. If I don't see anyone come through, I'm gonna call it a day. Again, appreciate all the comments, all the thoughts, the words, the conversation, picking names, players, randomly thoughts. Always appreciate it. And the best to everybody, peace and safety, and good prosperous week, wherever you may. All right. So for now, I'm gonna sign off. Have a great day. Thank you very much. We out. Peace.